Welcome to our online training. Within this training, we will cover how to customize the page setup and print options for the securities. We will also review the different options within the Format, View, and Windows menu. Today's training is designed to instruct in some of the basics of Metastock and the Downloader program. We will provide some guidelines for using certain features within the software. However, nothing presented in this training is intended as or should be construed to be a recommendation to buy or sell any specific security. The information, software, and techniques presented today should only be used by investors who are aware of the risks inherent in trading. Equus shall have no liability for any investment decisions based on the use of their software, any trading strategies, or any information provided in connection with the company. At the conclusion of this training module, you should know how to set up the page properties for printing, how to print charts with personal settings, the customizable options of the Format menu, the ease of use of the View menu, and the ability of arranging windows. In Metastock, there are multiple ways to print and customize options for printing open charts within Metastock. To customize how Metastock handles printing of charts, we will need to open the chart or charts we would like to print. For example, we will use IBM and Google. To open these charts, go to File, Open, and click on the Quote Center button. Metastock End of Day will have a Reuters Data Link button. Type in the symbol US:/IBM and hit Enter. Go back to File, Open, type in US:/GOOG and hit Enter. Now that we have the open charts, select File and Print. Select the name of the printer to print the charts on. Under the Charts section, it will ask what to print. This is where the charts are selected to print. Selecting Active Chart will only print the chart that is currently active on the screen. Selecting All Charts Printed from the drop-down prints all open charts. Also, under the Charts section, there are two ways to print. Graphics will print the chart as you see it in Metastock. Text will print the data values. To print only text, select the date range from the Print Range section below. To print all the data within a chart, place a dot next to All. To print only the last certain number of data points, place a dot in Last Blank Data Points and place the number of data points in the box. To specify a certain start and end date or from and to date, specify it here under the From and To field. Also, place the number of copies to print off. To preview the page or pages to print, click on Print Preview. On the Print Preview, it will show exactly what the pages or page is going to look like once printed. To see all pages, if there are multiple pages, click Next Page. To print, click Print Now. To go back to the print properties, click Print or Close. Click onto the Page Setup button to view the various menus and options. Within Page Setup, there are 4 tabs to help customize how the charts are printed. The 4 tabs are Layout, Margins, Header Footer, and Paper. Under the Layout tab, there are options to set up how the chart should be printed on the paper. Selecting the Print X charts per page will allow you to specify the number of charts per page to print. For example, if you have 8 charts open and you want the charts printed on 2 pages, then type 4. Select the Print to Fit option to print all open charts on one page. Select Print where displayed to print the charts in the same size and location as they appear on the screen. Select the Show Title option to include the title bar of the chart in the printout. Select the Page Border drop-down menu to select another page border other than the default border. There is also the option of choosing No Page Border. Select the Chart Border drop-down menu to select another border than the plain default border. There is also the option of choosing No Chart Border. Select the Automatically Reduce Font box if you want the Y and X axis fonts to be reduced in relation to the size of the chart. The smaller the chart, the smaller the font used. Leave the box unchecked if you want the font to remain as specified sizes. To restore the pre-built defaults back to the Layouts tab, click on the Defaults button. Under the Margins tab is where to choose or customize the margins, spacing, and units of the chart. The page borders printed directly against the margin settings. Select Page Margins to specify the distance the chart should be printed from the top, bottom, left, and right side of the page. To manually change the margins, type in the margins to use in the top, bottom, left, and right of the page. Metastock's defaults is 0.5. Select Chart Spacing to specify the distance between charts on the printout. If printing more than one chart per page and want more spacing than 0.25, increase the number in this section. Select Units to choose inches or centimeters for the margin and chart spacing measurements. To select centimeters instead of inches for the values of the margins and spacings, change it here. To restore the pre-built defaults back to the Margins tab, click on the Default button. Under the Header Footer tab option, it allows you to place information such as time, date, page number, company information, or personal information. This is a good way to identify the chart or charts that are placed onto the page if the chart title is not located on the chart when printed. The header is printed at the top of the page. The footer is printed at the bottom of the page. Under the fields, there are buttons to automatically place the time, date, or page number within the header or footer. Just place the cursor inside either header or footer and click the button. Once the chart is printed, it will display that information. Select Alignment to align the text to right, left, and center within the header and footer. To modify the header or footer font, click on the Font button and select the desired font. To restore the pre-built defaults back to the Header Footer tab, click on the Default button. Under the Paper tab is where we specify the paper size, orientation, and special effects for printing. If Use the Default Printer Settings is checked, Metastock will use the Windows printer properties that are already defined. To customize the paper settings, place a dot in, use the following printer settings. Metastock will use the changes that are specified below to print the chart or charts. To modify the paper size, click on the drop-down arrow for the drop-down list and select the desired paper size, including envelopes and index cards. To change the orientation from the default landscape to a portrait, place a dot in Portrait. Under the Special Effects section, place a check mark in black on white printing if wanting all background colors printed as white and all foreground colors printed as black. Check Invert black and white if wanting all black colors to print white and all white colors to print black. To thicken the lines of the chart, place a check mark in Thicken Lines by blank %, and in the box, place the number to thicken the lines by. To restore the pre-built defaults back to the Paper tab, click on the Default button. Now click on OK to return to the Print window, and hit OK to print the charts using the options specified. Next, we will be discussing the Format menu options. The Format menu helps to modify the Selected Charts feature. Within Format, there is the option of modifying the selected objects once clicked on, the chart window or inner window properties, as well as any price or scaling information. Also, we can format the data window properties and the indicator quick list. To change the properties of an indicator, line study, or price plot from the Format menu, click on the price plot of Google. To know that it has been selected, there will be little black boxes that follow the price graph. Now, go to Format. Click on Selected Object. If nothing is selected in the chart, Selected Object will be grayed out. This will bring up the property of that selected object. To make sure that the correct object is selected, it will display the name of it in the title bar. After selecting anything within this Properties box to change the chart, click OK to apply the changes. To change or view the chart window properties, go to Format and click on Chart Windows. This will allow us to make the necessary modifications to the chart within the Windows properties. To change or view the inner window properties, go to Format and click on Inner Window. This will also allow the customization of the inner windows within the chart. To quickly change the price plot information of the chart currently displayed, go to Format and click on Price. This will give the property of the price plot that is currently displayed. To modify the x-axis properties, which is the date and time scale at the bottom of the chart, go to Format, then click on X-axis. This will display the x-axis property information. To modify loaded and displayed dates, periodicity, margins, and grid, do so here. To modify the y-axis properties, which is the value scale to the right or left of the chart, go to Format. Now choose either left y-axis or right y-axis. Left y-axis might be grayed out. If so, this means there's currently no left y-axis on the chart. For training purposes, we will select right y-axis. This will allow the modification of the y-axis properties such as scaling and grid. For more information on how to modify the chart format, please watch the Chart Properties and Custom Toolbar training. There is the option to change the different values displayed within a chart. Also, there is the ability to update while dragging the cursor, as well as displaying the data window text in color. To modify these data window properties, go to Format and click on Data Window. Under the Fields tab, there are value fields that can be placed on a chart for the security. Some securities, however, do not collect information for all of these values. Also, some data vendors do not report all of the values for each of the fields listed either. The fields that are checked will be the values that will be displayed within the chart for that security, as long as the information is present on the chart. To restore the pre-built defaults back to the Fields tab, click on the Default button. Under the General tab, there are two items: Update only on drag and Display data window text in color. If Update Only on Drag is checked, the information within the data window will update only when you click and hold the left mouse button and drag your mouse around the chart. If Display Data Window Text and Color is checked, the color of the values in the data window will correspond to the color of the represented plot. For example, if indicators on your chart are green, the color of the values reported for that indicator in the data window will be green as well. To restore the pre-built defaults back to the General tab, click on the Default button. The last option under the Format menu is the Indicator Quick List. This option will allow users to change what indicators are displayed within the Quick List. To customize the indicators in the Quick List, go to Format and click on Indicator Quick List. This is the complete list of all the indicators within the Indicator Builder. All the indicators that have a check mark next to them will be displayed in the Quick List. To display all of the indicators in the Quick List, click on Check All and then OK. This will show all the indicators in the Indicator Quick List. To take out all of the indicators from the Quick List, go back to Format, Indicator Quick List, select Uncheck All, and OK. This will now take out all the indicators from the Indicator Quick List. To modify the Quick List, to only place certain indicators into the Quick List, go back to Format, Indicator Quick List. Now place a check mark in the indicators that you want to show and click OK. This will display the certain indicators that were selected in the Quick List now. We will now go over the View menu in Metastock. The View menu will provide different options depending on how and when it is used. Without a chart open, the displayed options will be for the Metastock application. If a chart is opened, View will show additional options that are specific to the open chart. We will start by showing what the View menu looks like without an open chart. Click on View by clicking on Full Screen. This will maximize Metastock to full screen on the monitor. To exit full screen mode, click on Close Full Screen in the bottom right-hand corner of the software. If you have multiple monitors, the Full Desktop option will allow Metastock to display itself across multiple monitors. To restore this setting, go back to View menu and uncheck Full Desktop. The status bar is a very handy tool to use. By placing the cursor over different objects within Metastock, the status bar will display the descriptions of those objects. It also helps if there is a chart open with multiple line studies. Just place the cursor over one and the status bar will show its description. To place the status bar at the bottom of Metastock or remove the status bar from the bottom of Metastock, click on View, Status Bar. By checking this option, Metastock will display the status bar on the bottom of the application. Unchecking the option will remove. Also, within the View menu, with no chart open, there is an option to customize all of the toolbars within Metastock. To see what options are available in Metastock once a chart is open, go to File, Open, click on Quote Center. Metastock End of Day will have Reuters Data Link button. Type in US:IBM and press Enter. Now that a chart is open, go to View. The options within the View menu are now for the chart or charts being displayed, as well as the previous options already discussed. By clicking on crosshairs, this will give the crosshairs when placing the cursor inside the chart's inner window. This is another way to see the values displayed within a chart for a price plot, indicator, or line study. To remove the crosshairs, go back to View and click on Crosshairs. The data window will display the value of whatever the cursor is hovering over within the selected chart. To open or close the data window, go to View, Data Window. The button next to the data window will be pushed in if the data window is already displayed. If not, click onto it to display the data window. If there is an expert advisor attached to the chart, there is an easy solution to see the commentary of that advisor in the View menu. To see Expert Advisor Commentary, go to View and click on Expert Commentary. If there is no expert advisor attached to the chart, the commentary window will say No Expert Attached to in the name of the security. To refresh the data within a security, go to View, Refresh Data. If the security is data on demand, the most recent data will be retrieved from the data vendor's server and displayed on the chart. If the security is from local data, data will be retrieved from your hard drive and displayed in the chart. Also, in the View menu, there's the option to rescale the Y-axis. Rescaling the Y-axis will set it back to the default and take out any customizations that were made. To rescale the Y-axis, go to View and click on Rescale Y-axis. The last option in the View menu is Zoom. The Zoom allows us to zoom in or out of a chart. We also have the ability to select a certain area within a securities chart to zoom into. To zoom in or out of a chart, go to View, go down to Zoom. Now select either Zoom In, which will zoom into the chart, or Zoom Out to zoom out of the chart. To zoom in more or zoom out more, repeat the same process. After zooming in or out of a chart, there is a way to reset the chart to what it looked like before it was modified. To reset the zoom to default, go to View, down to Zoom. Next, click on Zoom Reset. This will reset the zoom back to the loaded dates. There is a way to zoom in on a certain region of the chart. It is called the zoom box. Use Zoom Box to select the region of the chart and zoom into it. To use the Zoom Box feature, go to View, go down to Zoom, click on Zoom Box. On the open chart, place the cursor on the first day to use in the selection and left click and drag to the end date to zoom into and let go. This will zoom into the data that has been selected. We have now explained how to configure the page setup properties and how to print the chart or charts that are displayed. We have also shown the different options within the Format and View drop-down menus. We wish you wonderful success with our outstanding software.